Hi, my name is Bob Cole, and I live in Lunenburg, and I paint stuff like this. I've been doing this a long time, so I can get this done, and you'll be very happy. It's going to be a waterfall, and it's Crystal Cascade from New Hampshire. My daughter and her husband love to go all over Massachusetts and New Hampshire finding waterfalls. And then they take photos, and I enjoy taking the photos and painting them. Anyway, I'm going to work on this one and see if we can get it to look like the photo. And when you're painting, don't paint it exactly like the photo ever. Make it yours. Just move it a little bit. Put some extra darks in here, bigger light up there, smaller space there. Just various things you can do to it that'll make it your picture, not a photo. These are the colors I have, and you don't really need more than that. And these are yellows: raw sienna, burnt sienna, raw umber, burnt umber. And then there's 4 blues: French, French. Anyway, this one is cobalt, Prussian, cerulean, and purple. Yellow, orange, new gamboge, orange, cadmium red, and alizarin crimson. And that's French ultramarine. Couldn't think about ultramarine. I'm getting old. You need a palette, or you can just use a plastic plate, because you just put it around in a circle, and you got a palette. It only costs you 6 cents. This is $23. Well, look how nice it is. But anyway, if you get these colors, you're all set. You can get other colors, and then they say, a lot of people say, where's my green? I said, here and here. There's a multitude of greens right there and there. You know, do the multiplication, the math, and you'll see, 4, there's 8, then 16. Ooh, man, starting to build up pretty quick, right? Okay. Wet everything to start off for the day. Just spray it. I have a sprayer, but it's in the bag over there. Anyway, you just take, and I'll just wet the paper. Now, if you get stuff like this, see it? Don't worry about that, because we're going to paint right over it. That's why we have a brush. Just spread it out. A little more water. And I always work from the top to the bottom. Water my paint down, paper down. Okay. Now all I have to do is save the space in here for the water. You can take a pencil. I have one. Say, okay, my water's coming out here, arbitrarily. Not important. Comes out here, and then starts dropping down, comes to a flat, goes in somewhat, and I'll pull it back this way too. So I'm changing that one. But that's my waterfall, and I can do anything I want with it. I'm going to put a sky in, and sky is usually cerulean and cobalt, and that's about it. cerulean, cobalt. See it? Okay, wet the brush, pick up the paint, and just put it right on. And the brush isn't this way. Not good. It goes this way. And it moves the paint a lot better than doing the tip of the brush. You know, okay? So there you are. Perfect. Now, I make a green, and I'll make the lightest green I can with cerulean, a little cerulean right there, and put some yellow in, like that, nice and bright, light yellow. So I'm just going to put a little bit of that in, and I'm going to amend that and do some more to it. There you go. Piece of cake. I say piece of cake a lot of the time because it really is a piece of cake. You know, it is just easy. Put some over there, put some over here. And some of that I might leave. Some of that I'm going to paint over. And I'm going to clean this little spot off that I wanted to make it water there. There you go. And you can leave your pencil marks on there because when you go to the museum, you'll find that Homer, Monet, everybody left them on there. Why? Because they didn't feel like erasing them. I mean, you know, you just paint over them a little bit. And it's that, oh, I need an eraser. I have to, a little girl, I don't know, 14 or something, he came over to me one day and said, I need an eraser. I said, what for? She said, oh, I want to erase something. I said, if you didn't put it on there, you wouldn't have to erase it. But she said, you don't have an eraser? I said, no, I don't need one. I don't make mistakes. Well, I made a mistake. No, you didn't. And that's how I do this. It's pretty simple stuff. Pretty simple stuff. So anyway, we need some greens, just like that. Put some more greens on down here. And I'll save some spaces for gray rocks. And if you want to make gray, it's very simple. And the only thing you have to remember is you need the three of them. Red, a little red right there, or right here, right there. Yellow, right there, and blue. The primaries make gray. See, that's kind of greenish, so I go with more blue and more blue. It's getting really green, but that's okay, because I want to put a little more red in it, and there you go. It's grayish. It's a color gray. It's not gray with a black and white. It's a color gray. It's really simple. So here's a rock formation right there. I'm going to put that right straight in. Pull it down a little bit. Push it up in there. And that's going to be right touching the water. Okay? Now that won't ever change because I'm going to put some green right next to it. And now this time I want Prussian. There you go. And burnt sienna. Prussian and burnt sienna. And we need it, it's brown, so I want more Prussian. See how dark that is? Ooh, good. That's what I want anyway. Put it up here. Clear it out. No, I won't clear it out. Put some down here. Right into the waterfalls. And one over here. I know it doesn't look like much right now, but that's okay. We have all day to do this. All day. A little Prussian again. This time I'll go with orange. New Gamboge. And it's a dark green, but it's what I want. Okay. Now I have a bit of a sky. So in order to amend the sky and make it look better, just take the brush and just push it up like that, push it up, way up. As it gets closer to here, from here, it gets a little taller. Come over here and do the same thing. Just push it up, scrape it a little bit. Not important. Really not important. There you go. Go all the way up. A little touch of water. A little Prussian. A little orange. Okay. And this can go any way it wants to go. Because you only have to take and put color go in one direction and let it set and then paint it in the other direction. You can tell when your paper is wet or dry by touching it with your finger, top of your finger. And it's warm here, cool there, and really cold, because that's wet. See it? It moved. I don't know if you can see that or not, but it did, it moved. Okay, okay. There we are. See, I leave some of the undercolor, the pink, not the pink, but the light green. Just let it do what it wants to do. Some color comes up. And when you make color and pick color up, this is a simple thing to do. Take a little water, take some burnt sienna, add the burnt sienna, add Prussian. I don't stir it. You know, it's not a porridge, it's paint. So it's nice and dark. If I want it lighter, I just put some yellow in it. And this is lighter than that. So I'm going to put a little bit in here. It'll be green enough to do what I want it to do. That one goes up there a little bit, that one goes there a little bit. Okay. And take the rest of the paint and just push it around. You know, you try too hard to make a tree and then put the things on it. You can do that, but you got to do that up here in the sky. I'll put some more up there. Get it a little lighter by adding yellow to it. Put some up there. See it nice and yellow? Oh, good. See it starting to shape up already. Add more to it. Pick up some of the darker colors I already have. Add them in there. And if you put them in and they're kind of damp, which this is, I know it's damp, they spread out, which is fine, you know, because you can't see all those leaves. All you can see is this value right here. There's another value right there. There's another value right there. So you're not seeing the leaves, you're seeing the value of the group of leaves, just like that branch over there, and push them around. Just keep pushing it in. Fill it all the way up. See, I would leave that alone, you know, because I can. Let me get them dark here. Yeah, there you go. Them dark. And we'll put some rocks in here. And the rocks are smooth, like this, smooth. Bring another one down here. Push it out. Change that a little. So it's just kind of growing, right? There you go. And as it gets from here down to here, it should be wider, because this is where the water's coming from, and it gets not thicker, but spreads more as it comes down, because it's coming out of a real tight force up here. There's a little white right there. I'll take this out. Well, they say you can't correct with watercolor. But I did, didn't I? Mm-hmm. Okay. You can amend it, and no matter how long ago you painted it. You just have to trust yourself and do it. If I wanted to save some more over here, I just take it and wet it, just like that. Take my paper towel. There you go. It is simple, huh? There you go. That's all I can tell you is it is simple. Okay, let me get going on down the hill a little bit. Now, that's nice and wet. So I'll leave that little portion be, and I'll just add some of this over here. And the reason I do all that little stuff, it's there are bunches of leaves and a few singles. You know, like, see that one little thing? One little single. I could just touch it and make a little branch out of it. I could go up there and add some more darks, just like that. Get even add more yellows, like that. You can keep changing this and changing it and changing it. And pretty soon you're going to have a nice looking picture because all the extraneous work you did to it. I'm going to go in there with a little yellow. Over there, okay. Now I'll take a New Gamboge and Prussian, New Gamboge here, and Prussian right there. And pretty soon you will forget about what is there. You just dip right into it and move right along. That was nice and light yellow, so I'll put some darks around it. It's not really, really dark, it's just slightly dark. And I can leave it just like it is. And it works fine. Because once you get this all done, what I do is homogenize it. That's my term. Homogenize it. Because I take it when it's all dry and put a very thin skin of a real light green, and it pulls it all together. And then say, oh, that looks good. Yeah, it does. Okay, this is a flat right here. So this is, don't want green, I want gray. Go back to the purple. There you go, gray. Oh, here. It's greenish gray. It's all right. It's not important. What's important is you're enjoying yourself and having a good time. And that's about it. Okay, I'll take a little ultramarine and put some of that in too. And you can put just a blue in there, and it's not important. It's a change of value. The most important thing in paint is not the color, the value. Because you can paint it all in one color, and you have it in values, it'll look perfect. Because I have a half a dozen or more at home. If you want to get the rocks nice and dark, this is Gamboge. No. I always have trouble with that stuff. I'll remember it. Anyway, it gets really dark. And if I can remember the name of it, I would tell you. This is probably silica. This is clay. This is loam. You know, I don't make the rules up. I just follow them. And that's what's happened. This is on the loom portion or whatever. I don't know what it is, but it goes over there. Now, when you clean your brush, I'll change to cobalt. And with the cobalt, I'm going to put a little burnt sienna. Yeah, see, it's just a gray. Under that will be big rocks, stones, whatever. in that layer. Okay? I'll put it right there. Clean some brush. Okay. That's still damp. You'll find when you're painting that sometimes it takes a week for the stuff to dry because the humidity in the room, outdoors, and so forth, tells you what you can do and what you can't do. Sooner or later, I'm going to put some stuff in cold water. And to do that, you just have a little bit of light color. It's just kind of a gray, a little bluish. And you take the side of the brush, and it's damp. See it? Damp. Okay. And it goes over to here. Now that's too dry. I mean, too wet. So I touch my paper, take some of the water out of there, take a little bit more up, and just drag it down. See how simple that is? It really is. Just you can take the tip of the brush and just touch it up there. You're making indications, not, perfect stuff. Now this goes sideways. I want a little heavier. It drops down to here, and here it's going flat, not vertical. So I just touch it with the brush. Let it bounce up a little bit. It's just touching the brush. That's all it is. Okay. And I'll go right out to there. That's good. Okay. Because that's going to go down this way. Okay. I wanted some more gray rocks up there. I'll go back to the little of the purple. The purple has other stuff in it, so it comes out gray. Okay, that's what I need anyway. So I want to amend that a little bit and make it a stone right there. And a little bit over there. Okay, yep. Put some in up here. Put some over here. These are just darks going on top of really light stuff. I'll put some dark green, Prussian, and Gamboge. Prussian again, Gamboge. That's darker, because I want to put some trees. When I do this, you just push it up there, and I get those little trees. These ones go farther back. It's just the way it works. Scrape it, move it. There you go. I broke that all up nicely. Thank you. Okay. Now, by the by the water edges, the edges are really dark because they're always wet, always. So we just make them dark right there. I have some over here too, a little bit right there, right up against that area, a little of the bluish. Okay, up here. Sometimes I forget which stuff I'm working on. Okay? I don't know if you can see with that camera, but there's a nice piece of yellow right there. Okay? So what am I going to do? When you have a nice little area of yellows, light color, you put some dark in there. See what happened? I got a nice yellow tree out of it. And I'll put some of these up here, like over there. Take the brush, scoop up the paint, and just tap it in there. There you go. Down here too. Because this is pretty close to dry, and what I want to do is, see they're really soft? That means they're way back, and these two. So what would I do with those? To bring them forward, I have a very thin amount of paint right there, and I want to bring these a little bit forward. So I just put a little bit more paint in there, and they come forward. It's pretty simple stuff when you think about it. Just two. This down here too. Okay. Well, the top's getting like what I want to see. And it's not important what you do. It's important what you get when you want to change something or whatever. I'm going to darken that rock up again. Now this stroke here is rock, stone, so it's got a nice smooth edge. This is not a smooth edge. This one up here can be, right there. And the dark here will tell you it's a stone, a rock. Darken those up a little bit. Because each time you touch it, there's a nice smooth edge right there. I'm just going to darken it up a little bit more. Okay. That one's all right. This one's okay. Simple, huh? Okay. Well, more of the same. Anyway, and you have to do this. Move away, take a look at it. And then you say, oh, that, run over here and make this a little sharper, even a little darker. Just a little darker. It's not that I have to, it's that I want to. Know what I mean? No. That's okay. So you just keep on doing down here what we did up there. Take some light color, cerulean, just scrub it around. I want to have it come over that way, and then we'll have it come down here and spread out. This will come down here, somewhere there, right about there, down, and then spread out, way out. Yeah, I like it like that. And it's my paper, and I'll do anything I want to it. Because you don't have to really follow that. This is just something that said, you know, it's a nice looking waterfall. It's too straight. You break that up more, like this, you know. And if you had another one over here, you could break it up, and then a little bit more up there, and have it broken up. My edges are not straight, only right there. That was a dark that I want in there, nice and smooth. That ain't enough, I want more. Okay. Yeah. Sometimes you can just do that. Just take the paint, don't stroke it, just pop it on there. And let it do what it wants to do. And sometimes you get some nice looking stuff out of that. Don't know why it looks good, but it does. Well, it's purple against green, which is complementary paint, complementary colors. So let me take a little more of this cerulean and yellow. Yeah, right over here. I'll just spread a little bit around. Paint it down the side. Okay. So what I did at the top, I'm doing down to the bottom. Just scrubbing it and changing it. A little bit here and there. That'll be all right. And Gambouche. Okay. And when I pick up the color, I pick up both of them. And sometimes it comes out on one side, sometimes it comes out on the other side. It's a little darker than this. But that, you know, but when you take some paint, put some here, and take this one, put it there, and some more of that one, and then you do that. You homogenize the paint, and you're better off of leaving that there, pick up another hunk of cerulean, and put it with it, and then just pick the whole thing up and spread it around. See, it's lighter here than it is there, it's darker there. You just push it around, that's all. Because then you can take a nice bunch of water, just water. I have paint on there. Now I'm going to take the water and put it on and smooth it out, kind of. See how that's variegated? Just by putting some color on someplace and a little bits of water with with no paint on it. And it'll just come back and make it any way you want. Okay, I want to put some gray on that. And I have some in the grill. I don't know how that color got into my purple, but it did. But it's fine. It's fine. I'm going to push the paint out so I got a nice smooth edge of a rock. There you go. Right out to there. Good. Okay. And this will get the same. I'll put one down here. Rock edges are smooth. The rocks are smooth. Because the water that keeps going over them smooths them. After some years, it just happens that way. That's okay. A couple of these down here, one there, one over here. Okay. Now we go back up to this area and take some light, some cobalt. You get a pretty decent green, see it, green. And we'll put in some here, some over there, some down here, some down there, a little touch more. A little touch more. That's okay. Do the same thing again. Same thing. Yellow, cobalt, cobalt, a little touch more cobalt. Scoop it all up and bring it over here. I'll start up in here. Just let some fall off of the brush, because that's all it's doing. I'm not holding it against the paper, I'm just letting it slide across the paper. And it makes a variated surface that looks like it's supposed to be. Simple, huh? And they give you money for doing this. Well, you know, kind of, sometimes. Oh, well, almost never. But hey, I have a whole room full of, I got a me museum. Talk about a selfie. It's all the way around. Lots of different pictures that I want to save. Because I had a lady coming into my apartment. Oh, I love that one, I want that one. I said, you can't have it, it's mine. What? It's mine. You can't have it. I want it. I'll say this for the last time. You can't have it. You just gave me a shrug and left. She didn't ask me how much it was worth, because it was just a little small one, about that big, but I just liked the way it looked and came out. I tried to emulate it. Okay, that one just perfect. This one I'm having a trouble with. But that's, you know, anyway. You can't please everybody. And sometimes the hardest one to please Just sitting in these shoes. The hell I do that for? Anyway, I just add some more paints of a different value all over the place here. And I keep changing the value, but that's okay. It's not important. Most everything is not important. I'll put a little bit of brown on that rock, on that one too. I haven't used much brown in this place, on this picture, so I think I will put some around. And you just find places where you can add stuff to it for no apparent reason. This is I see a big blank empty area. I'll just touch it a couple of times. Now it's got some kind of characteristics that make it look better than it did. Right there. So I want to compound this whole thing. So I just take the brush and go over it and over it. And see, a lot of that stayed there, but it's all broken up. And that's what I do when I homogenize. I'll show you it a little later. I need a green. I want a New Gamboge green. There you go. And Prussian. Yeah, Prussian. And just keep on pushing it around. Pick up the rest. Okay. A little more dark over the other side. Rouge. Cobalt this time. Yeah, better. Over here. And it just breaks all that paint up, which is just what you want it to do. A little bush on the edge. I want some darker stuff down here. Some over here. There. I want to get some other stuff like burnt sienna, and just touch it here and there. Just putting some color arrangements and differences. Because if it's all too green, you're screaming for a little reddish stuff. Well, that looks better. All right. A little more of this stuff, a little more of that stuff. I want to get it darker. I get people to ask me, How do I get darker paint? See them? They're right there. They're right there. Don't use these. Oh, is that it? And then that's it. Yep. That's the way it goes. Okay. Wow, it's a 32. I usually use 12. 12 is a good brush. It's big enough, but it's not too big. Just a nice middle range brush you can use. Dark, yeah. Okay, dark. Dark with that, dark with this. Yeah, that's better. Because when I squint, when you're painting, all during the painting, squint at it and it'll tell you, I don't see much going on here except for this and this and this. So I just add some darks to it, just by touching it here and there. And that looks better. Okay. Now what I want to do to this side is the same thing. A little of that, a little of this. See how nice and dark that is? Real dark. Say, okay, I'll put them in over here. Put them in over here on the bottom. A little there. Now I want to make some gray. So I got this, and it's green. The opposite of green is red. So it should make a gray over here. I need more blue. See it? Piece of cake. Nice and purpley, and gray and dark. So I just want to enhance my rocks, because rocks are hard. I'll put a few over here. And just keep on scrubbing it right straight down. I'll touch more. There you go. Yeah. Down. A little more. Okay. It's just plain blue. A little bit of cerulean, I think. Yeah. Cerulean. Okay. I just want to put some scrapes in. I'll put a little rock in the right in here. go. And just pull it down. Not good enough. More. That one. This one. Okay. Oh, don't want that. Put another couple of rock things in there. Okay, now clean that off. Now, a lot of water. I want to homogenize, which is very thin paint. Now the other side. Have to wait for it to dry. So there you have it. You see, it's so simple, and there's no really struggling to get that line just correct. If you just loosen up, you'll be better off. But you're so afraid of making mistakes because this material is the most difficult stuff you can use. And what do? They give it to 6-year-old kids and say, have a good time. And guess what? The kids have a good time. You learn how to use the medium you're using, you know, and you just get good at your medium. And watercolor is really, it is easy. You saw it. Just scribble it around, blah, 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 done. Well, I had a great time doing the picture, and I hope to do more because I enjoy doing it. And I can sit in my apartment and not do anything. But this makes me get out and do something. So thank you for watching me.